A chorus of jubilant ululation erupted from the gathered women, their high-pitched cries echoing through the village. It was the traditional welcome, the same sound that greeted every newborn, but now it heralded Ogechi's rebirth into her sacred role. Adako's voice rang loudest of all. Her cries of joy are testament to the bittersweet labor of motherhood. She who had been mocked for bearing a slow child now stood as the mother of Umuaghara's most revered daughter. In the moons that followed, Ogechi's renown as a gifted midwife spread far beyond the borders of their village. Women from distant communities, having heard whispers of her gentle hands and calming presence, made arduous journeys to have her attend their births. She was there for every stage, the anxious early moons of pregnancy, the long grueling hours of labor, the exhilarating first cries of new life, and the tender, exhausted days that followed. Some births ended in raucous celebrations that shook the earth with drum beats. Others were quieter affairs, marked by the soft keening of a mother whose child had returned to the spirit world. Through it all, Ogechi was the constant, her hands bringing comfort, her voice a soothing balm, her presence an unwavering anchor in the tempest of childbirth. One particularly challenging birth cemented her status as not just a midwife, but a true life-bringer. It was during the heart of rainy season, when the Aku River swelled and the paths turned to slippery mud. A messenger arrived at her hut, drenched and frantic. "Midwife Ogechi," the boy gasped. "You must come. Mama Nneka in Umueze village. Her baby won't turn. The old midwife says she'll die without you." Ogechi didn't hesitate. Grabbing her medicine bag, she plunged into the downpour. The journey to Umueze, normally a brisk hour's walk, now took thrice as long. She slipped in the mud, fought through flooded streams, her white wrapper becoming a sodden earthen-stained rag. By the time she reached Nwanneka's hut, the scene was grim. The laboring woman lay on a blood-soaked mat, her face grey with exhaustion. The village's elderly midwife, Mama Chukwudi, looked up with relief mingled with despair. "The baby is breech," she explained, her hands trembling. "I've tried everything. The spirits have turned against us." But Ogechi knew better. She knew it wasn't the spirits that determined a baby's path, but the skill and knowledge passed down through generations of women. Kneeling beside Nwanneka, she took a deep breath and began to work. Her hands moved with gentle yet firm purpose, guiding, coaxing, turning. She murmured ancient birthing songs, invoking the strength of Allah and the wisdom of all the midwives who had come before. After what seemed like ages, a shift, a cry, and the baby boy slid into the world, squalling his defiance at the storm. News of Nwanneka's miraculous birth spread like wildfire. They said Ogechi had wrestled with death itself and won, that she could command babies to turn in the womb with just her voice. The tales grew with each telling, until Ogechi was spoken of not just as a midwife, but as a chosen one of Allah herself. But for Ogechi, the true miracle lay in simpler things, in the way her parents' faces had softened, the cares of years lifting, in how little Chima, now a sturdy boy of 5, looked at her with shining admiration. "When I grow up," he declared, "I want to help people like you, Ne Ogechi." And perhaps most poignantly, in the day she returned home to find a small, crudely wrapped package outside her hut. Inside was a battered skipping rope and a note in childish scrawl. "I'm sorry for calling you dum-dum. You're the smartest person in the whole world. Chinyere." Ogechi held the rope, feeling the rough fibers beneath her fingers. She thought of the long winding path that had led her here, from the mocked, lonely child to the revered midwife. A path paved with tears and determination, with the pungent scent of healing herbs and the primal cries of new life. In that moment, Under the sprawling branches of the Iroko, where the ancestors whispered, Ogechi understood the deepest truth of her journey. It wasn't just about defying expectations or finding her calling. It was about the resilience of the human spirit, the power of compassion to heal old wounds. She had been called dumb, slow, and useless, but in the end she had become something far greater, a beacon of hope, a keeper of life's most sacred mysteries. And in doing so, she had not just saved countless lives, she had redeemed her own, one heartbeat, one birth cry at a time. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. From a nearby hut, a newborn's first cry pierced the evening air. Ogechi smiled, gathered her medicine bag, and set off towards the sound. Her work, her calling, and her redemption. It was all just beginning. Subscribe for more.